More than 300,000 people have left China's cities since 2022. These are not only factory workers. Many are white-collar professionals, young graduates, and even entrepreneurs. They're leaving behind skyscrapers, high-paying jobs, glittering nightlife, and they're moving back to rural villages. Why? Because the very cities that once promised hope have become cages for millions. China's cities transformed at breathtaking speed. Mega malls replaced old neighborhoods. High-speed trains connected provinces in hours. Entire skylines rose where there was farmland. China's urban GDP now accounts for over 70% of the national economy. Millions chase the urban dream. Better salaries, modern hospitals, quality schools, global lifestyles. But between rising costs and relentless pressure, the dream began to crack. By 2020, warning signs erupted: soaring housing prices, youth unemployment above 20%, crushing mental health crises, COVID, lockdowns, shutting cities overnight. Social media exploded with new words: tang ping, lying flat, choosing minimalism over exhaustion, neijuan, involution, endless struggle without progress. More young people began to ask, is city life still worth it? Between 2022 and now, over 300,000 have answered with their feet. They've left neon lights for rice fields. The question is no longer, why go to the city? It's becoming, why stay? But beneath this shining surface, cracks were forming. The urban dream was becoming unsustainable for many. Housing prices soared across China's cities. In Shenzhen, apartments now average over 70,000 yuan per square meter, approximately $9,600. Even in smaller cities like Xi'an or Nanjing, prices rose 50 to 70% over a decade. Young couples struggle to buy even tiny apartments. One netizen joked online, "We don't buy houses anymore. We buy cages in the sky." Education costs exploded. Kindergarten fees in cities like Shanghai can exceed 10,000 yuan per month. Private tutoring costs thousands per term. Competitive key schools require huge donations for admission. Middle-class parents exhaust themselves just trying to secure their kids a future. City life in China often means 12-plus-hour workdays, grueling commutes, endless overtime. A new term emerged, neijuan, involution. It describes a vicious cycle where everyone works harder, but nobody truly advances. People sacrifice health, family time, even sleep, yet feel no closer to success. With economic pressures came a silent mental health crisis, rising depression and anxiety rates, especially among urban youth, a wave of suicides in high-pressure industries. Social media flooded with confessions of burnout and hopelessness. One Shanghai tech worker posted anonymously, "I'm not living, I'm just enduring." Then came the shocks that turned city life from difficult to unbearable. After decades of blazing growth, China's economy began to slow. GDP growth fell from over 10% in the 2000s to around 5% today. Manufacturing slowed as Western demand declined. Tech crackdowns stifled once booming internet companies. Suddenly, white-collar workers faced layoffs. Factories reduced shifts. Confidence in the urban dream began to crumble. Nothing shook China's urban foundations more than the real estate crisis. For years, real estate was seen as the safest investment. A path to wealth, a sign of social status. Developers borrowed massively, building cities filled with gleaming towers. But in 2021, giants like Evergrande defaulted on debts exceeding $300 billion. Construction stalled. Buyers were left with unfinished apartments. Protests erupted across cities as citizens demanded, "Deliver our homes, return our money." People who once believed cities meant security suddenly faced ruin. Youth unemployment surged past 20%. University graduates discovered no jobs matching their skills, low wages for exhausting hours, sky-high rents that ate up salaries. Some young people turned to lying flat. They refused to participate in endless competition, choosing instead a minimalist life. Over the past 3 years, an estimated 300,000 plus people left cities to return to the countryside. But why? For many, city life became financially impossible. Housing unaffordable, childcare costs crushing wages, stagnant while inflation soared. A young woman from Chengdu shared,
Every month, rent and bills took 80% of my income. I was working just to survive.
returning home meant no rent, cheaper food, family support. Cities became synonymous with stress, loneliness, endless pressure. Villages offered fresh air, slower pace. Emotional refuge. A former tech engineer in Hangzhou said,
I was making 20,000 yen a month, but I was miserable. Now I earn less, but I sleep well at night.
Some saw business potential back home, online selling of local products, opening homestays for tourists, farming high-value crops, social media monetization. Live streaming farmers became celebrities. One garlic farmer in Shandong now makes 500,000 yuan a year selling produce online. Older migrants often stay in cities. They've built lives there. Their children attend urban schools, but younger people are more mobile, less attached to urban status. Open to alternative lifestyles. A 25-year-old from Hubei summarized it.
I'm not chasing luxury anymore. I just want to live.
Chinese officials estimate over 300,000 left cities between 2022 and 2025. Unofficial figures suggest the real number is far higher. Entire city blocks in mid-sized cities report falling populations. Property developers report sales in smaller cities are collapsing. People are moving out. Contrary to assumptions, not all returnees are poor. White-collar professionals burned out by city life. Entrepreneurs seeking lower costs for new ventures. Artists and influencers wanting creative freedom. A former advertising executive in Beijing said,
I was earning 30,000 yen a month, but I was losing myself. In my village, I'm finally human again.
So, what happens after people pack up and leave the cities for good? For many, life back in the countryside is a mixture of hope, hardship, and rediscovery. On social media, the countryside looks like paradise. Green rice fields swaying in the wind, morning mist curling over mountains, farmers smiling as they harvest fresh produce. But real life is often far more complicated. Income in rural areas remains low. Average rural incomes are less than half of urban incomes. Many villages lack modern infrastructure, patchy internet connections, limited medical services, fewer quality schools. A 29-year-old returnee from Guangzhou said,
I love the fresh air here, but finding customers is hard. I earn maybe a third of what I made in the city.
Still, the countryside offers significant cost savings. No rent, lower utility bills, cheaper food. A returnee from Jiangsu province shared.
My monthly expenses dropped from 10,000 yen in Nanjing to 2,500 yen in my hometown. That alone made life manageable.
For many, returning home is about more than money. It's about being close to aging parents, raising children in safer, quieter environments, feeling part of a community again. A woman who returned from Shanghai said,
I didn't realize how much I missed people knowing my name.
But adapting isn't easy. Many returnees face criticism from relatives who see them as failures, old-fashioned village attitudes, frustration over slow internet, and lack of modern conveniences. A young man from Shenzhen confessed,
People here think I'm weird. They don't understand why I left the city.
Despite challenges, some returnees thrive. They're part of a movement known as rural innovation. These entrepreneurs open guest houses for tourists, sell organic produce online, teach art, music, or English to local kids, start social media channels showcasing rural life. A former office worker in Hangzhou now runs a small tea farm and live streams daily to sell products. She said,
In the city, I was replaceable. Here, I'm building something of my own.
Thanks to smartphones and apps like Douyin, Chinese TikTok, rural residents can broadcast their daily farming activities, sell products directly to consumers, build fan bases of millions. One garlic farmer in Shandong became an internet sensation. His live streams attract 50,000 viewers per session. He sells 500,000 yen worth of garlic annually. China's urban middle class is hungry for authentic experiences, nature escapes. Slow living, new entrepreneurs are opening. farm stays, rural cafes, ecotourism sites. A couple from Chengdu transformed their ancestral home into a boutique inn.
Most city people pay 800 yen a night just to wake up to bird songs.
But it's not all success stories. Market saturation is growing. Some returnees lose savings in failed ventures. Logistics remain complicated for remote villages. A young entrepreneur who tried selling mushrooms online said,
People liked my videos but didn't buy. I ran out of money.
So, what does this great migration mean for China's cities? Factories in coastal provinces like Guangdong and Zhejiang are short of workers. An electronics manufacturer in Dongguan said, "We can't find enough people. Young workers don't want factory jobs anymore. Labor shortages mean higher wages. Production delays, rising costs for global supply chains. Restaurants, shops, and logistics firms in cities are losing. Waitstaff delivery drivers, warehouse workers." One Shanghai restaurant owner complained,
"Half my staff left. I can't find replacements."
in cities like Chongqing, Xi'an, Tianjin, apartment sales are slowing. Developers report fewer buyers. Falling prices in some districts. High-end housing still sells. Wealthy Chinese continue buying luxury properties. Some invest to protect savings. But affordable housing demand is declining. Many young people refuse to take on massive mortgages. A 27-year-old in Wuhan said,
Why spend 30 years paying a loan for a tiny box?
China's urban migrants were once the backbone of retail spending, entertainment, dining out. But many have cut back. Revenge spending post-COVID faded quickly. A Shanghai mall manager noted,
Foot traffic is down 30% from before COVID.
with fewer urban buyers, developers slash prices. Some abandon projects. The government faces a dilemma: stimulate housing or accept smaller cities shrinking. China is facing a fundamental question. Should it keep chasing massive urbanization or spread development more evenly? Experts warn China's economic model relied on endless urban growth. That model may be hitting its limits. Let's hear from the real people living this story. Their words reveal the human face behind the statistics.
14 hours a day, 7 days a week, my body broke down. Now I raise chickens back home. I earn less, but I'm free, and I hear birds sing.
COVID destroyed my business. I moved home, started selling honey from our village. My income is unpredictable, but my daughter plays under trees, not concrete.
No one hired me in the city. I teach English in my village. The pay is low, but my grandparents are near, and my students' smiles are real.
Meetings, reports, KPIs, it was endless. Now I run a tiny cafe near my village. Tourists love our rice cakes. I'm not rich, but I'm alive again.
COVID showed me cities can shut down overnight. Here in the village, the earth never stops giving, even if money runs out.
I film rural life. Millions watch. City people envy my slow mornings, my tea farm. I never imagined farming could make me famous.
To make sense of these stories, we turn to economists and sociologists. Their views are as divided as the country itself.
Urbanization was China's miracle, but it also created inequality. Young people leaving cities show that economic growth alone can't fulfill human needs.
This migration reflects a recalibration. People no longer want only money. They want quality of life. Rural incomes remain low. If the economy slows too much, returning home won't solve systemic problems.
The urban dream isn't over, but cities must become livable. Affordable housing, social support, and better work-life balance are essential.
Young Chinese are rewriting the script. They reject blind pursuit of wealth. They prioritize happiness, health, and authenticity. A Weibo user posted, "I don't want to be rich. I want to breathe." Yet challenges loom. Economic slowdown, global uncertainties, aging population. But one thing is clear, China's future will not simply be urban. It will be a mix, a new vision yet to be fully defined. Over 300,000 people have left the cities. Some seek peace. Some flee economic pain. Some hope to build new lives from the soil of their ancestors. This silent migration tells us the human spirit will always search for home, whether that's beneath city lights or under a canopy of stars. This has been China Panorama. Thank you for watching.